Odd Facts. Episode 1. We have been infected by so many viruses that 8% of our DNA is made up of them. Japanese meat labels show changing colors based on the level of ammonia the food emits as it ages. After it has passed its expiration date, the barcode is no longer readable, making it impossible to sell. If your hand or arm falls asleep, you can often wake it up by shaking your head. A cat's brain is biologically more similar to a human's brain than it is to a dog's. Both humans and cats have identical regions in their brains that are responsible for emotions. A 2-year-old who died in Italy in 1920 has been perfectly preserved to this day. A human brain produces as many as 12,000 to 50,000 thoughts per day, depending on how deep a thinker that person is. The use of emoticons affects our corresponding brain areas and can actually trigger emotions. Studies show that your dog can tell from your voice if you're happy or sad. You get a new skeleton every 10 years. Bone cells are constantly renewed and a new skeleton is ready every 10 years. If you stay up all night, your body burns an extra 161 calories. In 2002, Kenyan Maasai tribe people donated 14 cows to the United States to help with the aftermath of 9/11. Japanese manufacturers have released a bra that contains built-in ice packs so women can stay cool in summers. Chewing gum makes your brain run more efficiently and more effectively. A condition called false awakening occurs when you're dreaming that you're woken up but still are in deep sleep. A Japanese illustrator had his genitals removed, cooked them and sold them for $12.50. 6 people pre-ordered. There's a 9-year-old boy in the Philippines who started his own no-kill, non-profit animal shelter, the first of its kind on his island of Mindanao. There is a hornet the size of your thumb that stings you with flesh-dissolving acid that also acts as a pheromone to alert the other hornets to sting you until you die. There was a DC comic villain called Snowflame who gained superpowers by doing lots of cocaine. Hugging is a good medicine. It transfers energy to the person hugged and gives them an emotional lift. You need 4 hugs a day for survival, 8 for maintenance, and 12 for growth. Scientists say that hugging is a form of communication because it can say things you don't have the words for. And the nicest thing about a hug is that you usually can't give one without getting one. There was an all-girl band that would throw a golden condom to the audience, and whoever got it, male or female, was taken backstage to have sex with band members. Band was called Drop Bitch. 150 million years ago, dinosaur farts were one of the major contributors to global warming, researchers have found. There is a website that lets you send a gallon of cow, elephant or gorilla shit anonymously to someone as revenge. French gangsters in the early 1900s used a weapon that functioned as a revolver, a knife, and brass knuckles. There's a hammock-like bed for cats that installs under a chair or table and can even handle the weight of larger kitties. It's called cat crib. In China, it's a growing trend to dye color dogs to make them look like different animals. There is a restaurant in Denver that does not have set prices or a set menu. They encourage you to pay what you can, and if a diner does not have sufficient money to leave, they are encouraged to exchange an hour of service. 2 guide dogs, Salty and Russell, were awarded the Dickin Medal for gallantry after leading their blind owners out of the World Trade Center during the September 11th attacks. The United States Army during World War II developed a grenade the same size and shape as a baseball, to make it more effective for the soldiers who had grown up playing baseball. There's a tiny heart-shaped island, Teveru Island in Fiji. The scene in Spider-Man 1 in which Tobey Maguire catches Mary Jane, and then catches all of the food on her tray with one hand, was done without any CGI. Maguire actually performed the stunt with very little technical help. A man named Dashroth Mangy carved the road in a mountain for 22 years so that his village could be connected to the other village, because his wife died without any treatment, and the nearest doctor was 70 kilometers away in the other village. A 15-year-old boy in USA Jack Ondraker, created a cancer test using Google. His method is 168 times faster and a lot cheaper than the best current way of testing for the diseases. This young man sits on the side of Empire Road in South Africa, and instead of begging, he provides book reviews. He collects all these books, reads each of them, and provides reviews for people passing by. If you like the review, he will try to sell you the book. This is how he makes a living. Brandon Bremer was a genius, had an IQ of 178, read books at 18 months old, played the piano at age 3, and started college at age 11, who committed suicide at age 14 with no signs of depression, suicide note, or pressure to achieve from his parents. There's an amusement park in Vegas that lets you drive construction equipment in a giant sandbox. A 51-year-old man spent 30 years completely alone in the Alaskan wilderness. Richard Preenet built a cabin entirely by himself, featuring a fireplace, cache, and working door locks. Until 1936, Liechtenstein and Haiti were unknowingly using the same flag, and they didn't find out until they competed against each other in the Olympics. The police/army didn't invent the bulletproof vest. A pizza guy from Detroit did, after he was shot twice on a delivery. Over long periods of time, couples literally develop similar facial features. There is a mathematical formula, Tupper's self-referential formula, that when graphed, produces an image of the formula itself. Japanese fans at the World Cup match between Japan and Greece cleaned up all the litter in the stadium after the game. Because of a genetic oddity that happens when identical twins marry identical twins, the children of the couples will be full genetic siblings. The dolphin who played Flipper committed suicide, and there are other cases of captive dolphins doing the same. A cat can be its own twin when two fertilized eggs fuse together, and the result is this. There's a band called Caninas that has 2 pit bull terriers as their lead singers. There are spiders in Australia that are large enough to prey on snakes. If that. The pistol shrimp kills its prey by closing its claw so fast it creates a sonic bubble that momentarily reaches the temperature of the sun and knocks out its prey. A man in Yellowstone has an 800-pound pet grizzly bear named Brutus. Brutus was the best man at his wedding and occasionally has a place at the family dinner table. Scientists suggest that untidy and unmade beds are healthier for us than neat and made beds. Hearing your name being called when no one has actually called your name is a likely sign of a healthy mind. There's a species of ape that is more closely related to humans than chimpanzees, but zoos don't want them because they have too much dirty ape sex. There's a toy company that turns children's drawings into plush toys. Within 3 days of death, the enzymes that once digest your food begin to eat you. This is not a photograph. This is an artwork created by an artist using ballpoint pens. Wait. Hold on. Wait. What? Ballpoint pens. Take a moment to admire these, they're quite amazing. I can hardly legibly write my name with a ballpoint pen. I'm totally jelly, with no peanut butter. Researchers have found that the smell of flowers has a positive influence on your emotions. In Istanbul, there's a vending machine that feeds stray dogs in exchange for recycled bottles. A 17-year-old girl survived a 10,000 feet fall from an airplane after it was struck by lightning and exploded. She landed in a jungle and kept herself alive with only candy and her dad's advice. Vikings believed that a giant goat whose udders provide an endless supply of beer was waiting for them in Valhalla, Viking heaven. Jackie Chan, having spent 12 months in the womb, had to be surgically removed and weighed 12 pounds at birth. His mother nicknamed him Pao Pao, meaning cannonball. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and comment your thoughts. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well.